This video is for students who are familiar with Microsoft Word, who have never used Google Docs for word processing, or have not used Google Docs in the recent past and would like a quick refresher. For those who have never used Google Docs, uh, I'd like to introduce you to a new concept called cloud computing. Google has taken this concept and created a series of applications which benefit you as a student by allowing you to get access to the programs and the documents you create anywhere, essentially anywhere in the world, meaning you could access them at school, you could access them at home, you could access them on vacation as long as you can sign in to your email account. Everything is literally stored conceptually in a cloud where you can get access to your documents anytime, anywhere that you are located. And to get started here, making the assumption that you have logged into your account, you would see a screen very similar to this, and you essentially would click on an item here called Documents. When you click on the Documents link, a screen is automatically generated that looks very similar to this. And in this particular area is a listing of all the documents that you may have created in the past. But in this case, you're going to be creating a new document in order to create a word processed document. Now, if you look at this screen, it looks very similar to an older version of Microsoft Word, where across the top you have nomenclature or names that you're typically very familiar with: file, edit, view, insert, format, tools, table, and help. And the functions under these particular menus are very similar to what you would have experienced in Word. But let's take a quick example and operate on some text here to show you how similar the capabilities are to Word. If you had 3 lines of text and you wanted to do some basic operations, take for instance the title. Very similar to Word, you can use the alignment features to center particular text if you would like. You then have an opportunity to change the characteristics of that text. You can come up here and you can bold the text, you can italicize the text, you can underline the text, or even change the color of the text. Very easy and very intuitive, very similar to how you would have done this in older versions or even current versions of Word. If you would have a reason to change line spacing, again, a very easy function to use here. You would basically go to this particular menu option and click on 2, and now your paper is double spaced. If you would like to operate on the text and change the type of text font characteristics, similar to Word, you have a variety of different fonts that you could use. You also have an opportunity to basically change the size of that particular font. So now let's say you've basically done your completed operations that you need to do for this particular document, and you need to print that particular document. Very similar to Word, you would go to the File menu and you would go to the Print function. Word is, I'm sorry, Google Docs has a capability which allows you to basically create a PDF version of your printed document when you are ready to print it. Essentially what this allows you to do is, rather than having to access the application every time you would like to print it, if you create a PDF file of the printed version, you can just access that particular file and print it anytime that you would like. But let's say in this particular case, all we want to do is print the document. We go up to the print icon, hit print. A dialog box comes up very similar to what you would see in Word, and you basically click OK. And that would be sent to your local printer or network printer. One of the other very interesting features of Google Docs is the fact that whether you save a document or not, Google Docs has a feature where it is automatically saving the document almost every 2 minutes. In fact, it allows you to go back to various versions of your document at any time you would like. It also gives you the opportunity to rename a document. If you wanted to give a document a particular title, and that's under the File menu. It also gives you the ability to share a document, and by this I mean if you're working on a cooperative learning project with one of your classmates and you would like to work with him or her on it, basically if you know that particular person's email address, you can basically give them the opportunity to access your document on the Google Cloud and work on it simultaneously with you, either at home or anywhere else that that particular student may be. And you could send them a little note to let them know that they do have the editing capability, and all you have to do is click share, and they will get essentially an email saying that you would like to share this document with them, and if they click on the link, they have an opportunity to operate on that document. Very powerful function that gives you the capability to work with a team more productively and more cooperatively. I'd like to, in closing, just say one last thing. Google Docs is has been built on the philosophy of Pareto's law, which basically says that 80% of the work that goes into something like a word processing document really only requires 20% of the functions. And that's what Google has done here. They basically have created a word processing application which has those particular capabilities that you would access most frequently, and made those easily accessible to you so that you can complete your work more expeditiously.